Hey guys, thank you very much and welcome to another edition I apologise, Coffee with Cathy. Welcome, Cathy, to the show today. How are you?
Hello, Carl. How are you? How are you doing? You look great.
Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you to say. We were just having a conversation before we come on air, and we were both saying, obviously, how crazy that things have been. I mean, I would never, ever have guessed in a million years, Cathy, that May the 15th will be a huge turning point with regards to not just what was going to happen in the UK, but how it was going to really change my life. It's been an amazing journey so far. It's obviously been busy, which has been great. But it sort of got me thinking about certain habits that I'd picked up. And I wanted to talk about this today, about certain habits that probably that we deal with clients to help them obviously change certain habits. Now, we're obviously in the same game. We're in the personal development game. We try to help people with regards to the way that they eat, the way that they look, the way that they feel about themselves. And I know that certain habits can be passed down. You know, they can watch other people do it and they just think that that's right. I mean, throughout your life, you've probably seen people doing things that you've picked up automatically on and took them on as your own. Would that probably be fair to say that you've done that?
Oh, absolutely. Monkey see, monkey do, for sure.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I know, it's strange. So looking at some of the habits that maybe that you'd picked up in the early days, I mean, we talked about mindset a couple of weeks ago, and that's quite easy to do because when you're with certain people, they can influence the way that you act, and that then becomes a habit. And it's difficult to get out of that. I mean, you must have had experience whereby if people have been training and have been told to do things a certain way, and then you've changed them over to something else. I mean, looking at some of the results that you've probably had, absolutely incredible. So how have you, let me think of the right phrase. How have you changed maybe some of the habits with yourself and maybe with some of your clients to get them great results?
What a great question.
I try my best. I do try.
Well, let's see. Going back early days, I feel like I talk about my parents a lot when I talk to you. But, I've learned just from the early days, brushing your teeth is a habit. It's just like when you wake up in the morning, what do? Do you brush your teeth? Yes. Okay. And if you treated your goals like brushing your teeth, which is it's probably the most universal habit that everybody has. It becomes that way. It becomes a ease. It's just something you do. There's no maybe. It's just like brushing your teeth. So I have established that's habits are a big part of what I try to coach people with when they want to make any type of lifestyle change. And so I always equate it back to those early days of brushing your teeth, looking both ways before you cross the street, and making their fitness and lifestyle goals the same mindset as just those simple things that we learned as kids, and keeping it that simple. And when you're around people, like you said, when you're around people, they say you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Look to your left, look to your right. Are you good? And I say that to people because you will develop the habits of the people around you and the people who are teaching you. So habits and clarity are so big in any type of lifestyle goal. So I'm glad that you brought habits up. It's actually crucial to long-term success.
Yeah, I agree. I think also something that struck me is that when I try to change people's habits, I mean, in a massive way to start off with, I normally see those people really failing. And that's being honest here. It's being an honest coach, okay? Because I don't believe in anything else apart from telling people the truth and saying, listen, you may struggle with this. If I say to you straight away, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do the other. And don't get me wrong, I've worked with clients who, I don't know, have really needed that massive change in their life. And they'll go, I'll do anything that you ask me to do. Tell me what time I need to get up. Tell me what time I need to do this. Tell me what time I need to train. And I've gone, okay, that's cool. I can do that. And I've worked with them. And for the majority of the time, they've done okay. but other clients have tended to change just habits at a time, and it's just one or two. So I know what you guys do over there with your fitness, the model academy that you've got, which is unbelievable, by the way. I really need to interview some of those guys again, just to talk about habits and mindset shifts and stuff like that, things that they do. So if you get a client that comes to you, let's say for example, that wants to change the diet, are you full in with making massive changes, or again, are you coaching them to find out exactly, well, what is it that you want to achieve, and in the time scale that you want to achieve it? Yeah, I'm trying to tease this out here because I know what your answer is going to be, but I know that it's going to be a golden nugget for someone to be able to. Wow.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you just described everybody to a T. There are people, and I always say there's people who, when I tell them exactly what to do, if I say to go out in the middle of the street and, twirl around twice, tap your head, tap your foot, and move on, they'll say, okay. I have clients who, if I told them to eat tree bark, they would. But then you've got the negotiators. And so what I've learned through my 3 decades of coaching and learning from the greatest sports coaches, I've told you this is where I've learned all of my training from, the greatest sports legends of people who have been able to unify a team, get a group of people together for one common goal. What I've learned is that our coaching has to be direct, and our goal is to show the path and not to let them veer off to stay in their lane. One thing I'm really good at is showing the path. So I ask them what their goal is. I draw out a path and I say, you need to do this, that, this, that, this, that. And surprisingly not, my world champions, the girls who cover the magazines, the women who've lost 100 pounds, the men who have put on muscle and won world titles, they're the coachable ones that trust the process, do what I say. And it's not a power thing. It's just, I know how to guide you.
Yes.
But those negotiators that just want to, I don't want to do that. Well, I can spot them a mile away, and they will never have the success that someone else has.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you feel the same way. So I'm very direct. It's up, down, yes, no, hot, cold. I don't get lost in the gray. And there's never a reason to veer off the lane of success. But many people want to do that, and it just makes them, it might get them there, but it's going to get just like, recalculating a GPS. It will get you there, but it's going to take longer. Yeah. And so I'm very, very passionate about spending my time with people who are coachable and who trust the process. For sure.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I remember back in the early days when I started coaching jiu-jitsu. So I started around about age 15 or 16. And then when I took my black belt at like sort of 19, I remember then like developing my own pathway to helping other people obviously get to where I'd already been or where I'd already achieved. And it was so surprising that people would like get to a certain stage. And this was the hard part. It wasn't right at the beginning because a lot of people are really open at the beginning. You get some people who are quite closed minds, but you do get quite a lot of people that are going, yeah, no problem. Like you just said, we'll go out and eat bark, turn around twice, touch the head, do all that. But then you get to a certain stage and then they'll say, oh, hang on, I'm not really too sure that your method really works for me. And I'll just veer, like you just said, I'm just going to veer off there a little bit. And you find that the support mechanism completely goes because they're on their own path, they're on their own journey. And people need that support. That's one thing that I've found about this business, the isogenics business that we're in currently right now, is that I've already started watching certain guys like yourself, obviously, which is the reason why I'm doing these interviews with you now. You pick up things, obviously, from the leaders. You follow and they become a habit, what you guys do, because you guys have proved that you're successful. And I think that is a huge, huge key. This isn't about reinventing the wheel. It's about watching what other people do and saying, listen, this is what they did. You might be slightly different, but basically the structure is the same. And what you need to do is you need to follow that. Yes, you're an individual, but we need to obviously cater certain things to you. But the whole premise of the structure and the system is virtually the same, which is, I think, what you've got now with all your girls, because they're a team, a massive team. And I find that so exciting. So how do you keep your team together when it comes to building habits? How does that work for you, girls?
Yeah. Well, I love what you just said. You follow success. When I first came into our company, I was clueless. Like, I knew how to run a business of my own. I knew how to run a fitness business. I knew how to run a self-development and personal development and get people to their goals. But this was a new thing for me 6 years ago. And what I did was exactly what you just said. I surrounded myself with the people who went before me, and I listened to every single thing they said.
Yeah.
And even though I will tell you, I questioned a lot of it for a while and went, that's just not me. And Carl, every time I did that, I'd get that sidetracked. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you said, and exactly, like you were talking about jujitsu. It's like, I feel like sometimes people get to a certain point, and I see this with my girls. I see this with my team. I see this in the business. Those self-sabotaging qualities come up, and this because you're a coach in NLP, and you see it a mile away. It happens to people, and it happens usually from not trusting the process, not being successful in something else. Like, this better than I do. It kind of rears its ugly head, and sometimes I wait for it to happen. And quite frankly, there are people who don't succeed. There's people who want to go out on their own and want to do it their way. Usually they come back and go, okay. In fact, I just had someone come back and said, you were right. I want to make it easy for myself. And I'm like, that's the thing. I want to make it easy. But I always say no man is an island. And I feel like success takes a collaborative. But I think the best thing that people can do is see the success around them, even if it's not directly impacting them. If they surround themselves with something that's a proven model, proven success. So when people have doubted me, like, let's say I've just adjusted someone's diet and they're like, yeah, well, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so it's good enough for her. And she's on the cover of this month's Muscle magazine. It's not okay for you? Like, really? So I put the mirror up to people's faces all the time, and I think you can. Like, really?
Yeah.
So, I think you have wisdom from all your years of coaching, putting the mirror up to someone and showing them results. And luckily we have them. We have them. And like, you can go down that path of darkness, but we'll all be doing the Congo line over here. So when you're ready to come back and listen, maybe we'll be here, maybe we won't.
Oh, that's absolutely.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely hysterical, because I know that you're the type. I'm the same. I'm just going to go, yeah, no problem. You can do what you want to do, and then come back and let me know that either A, you've still kept the weight off, or that you've agreed. You've achieved great success in whatever area that it is. Listen, success breeds success. And what you've got to do is that you've got to look at the people who are actually doing it, mirror them, model them, from the NLP terms, but just watch what they're doing. Don't do exactly the same thing. You're going to put your spin on it because you're an individual. But it just, it's a crazy thing when people will adopt their own habits. They'll start believing in their own habits. And then they'll wake up, like you said, one day, and they'll realize and think, whoa, hang on a second. Ugh. Maybe I just should have listened a little bit there. So it's a little bit of a difficult subject. So from a personal development point of view, what sort of habits have you adopted to be as successful as you are today? Because again, I want people to listen to this. I want people to understand what it takes to get to the level that you're currently at in our business. And I know that a lot of people watch this, and the amount of people that get in touch with me go, oh yeah, I've seen you with the interview with Cathy Savage. She's amazing. You're doing a great job. Blah, blah, blah. No, seriously, you do. And I say, well, you know what? Listen, I'm in a lucky situation because, I've asked her, can I interview her? She's mentoring me. This is absolutely brilliant. If you really want to learn more, then please keep watching. So for the golden nuggets of the guys that are out there now, what are the things that you would suggest that they do if they want to be successful? Let's look at it in two things. One, let's be successful in life. And two, let's be successful in this business. What would you say?
Gosh, what wouldn't I say? Well, I would say that it takes, like some people say it takes 21 days. I say it takes 30 days to create a long-lasting habit.
Yes.
And so I feel like a lot of people look at something and they'll say, I have to do this forever. They have that attitude. But I say to people, give me 30 days to create this habit for you.
Yeah.
Now that goes to your business, your body, your bank account, your beauty, your everything. Give me 30 days to help you create this habit. And think in small terms, because if this is something new for people, then they've got to go in 30-day increments. But to at least hang in there for 30 days and find the good within the subtle change. It really, and then of course, put another icing on the cake of work ethic. And so work ethic will get you to success every single time. Surrounding yourself with people who went before you, who've proven it, and trusting the process and not listening to a bunch of people who aren't doing as well as you. I always say, take advice from people who want what you have and who have gone where you want to go. And don't surround yourself with the noise, because that'll do you in. And sadly, that does do people in. They just, they listen to the negative and they don't keep their eye on the highway. They just, again, veering off the road. I see it. It's sad. It can't save everybody, but you've got to really trust the process, trust the person in relationship that's mentoring you. And God, you are so blessed to have a great team, Carl, that already has that faith in you, because they knew you before. They knew you. They knew who you were. They just know the type of person you are. Therefore, they're going to run with you because they know that you're all running in the same direction for something that's already proven.
Yeah.
And so to focus in at 30-day increments, what do I want to do these 30 days? Let's do a new habit in 30 days. So it's not a, severe life change. It's 30 days. I'm going to get up every morning and work out before I start my job. Let's do that for 30 days. Then the next 30 days, I'm going to still do that, but I'm going to add a healthy breakfast every day. Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And so developing the habits on top of each other, to me, has been great for success, because a lot of people can't handle a drastic life change, depending on where they're starting from.
Yeah.
Trusting the process is my biggest nugget for anything, whether it's your body or your business. Trust the process.
Yeah, no, they have been absolutely awesome today. And you know what, Cathy, I'm actually going to leave it at that point, because I don't think I can squeeze any more out of you today. I think what you've given out there is incredible content for people.
Oh, thank you.
No, seriously, I mean, at the end of the day, everything that you've just said with regards to following people, following the process, believing in someone, for the amount of time that I've said to people with regards to, there's loads of slimming groups over here. I won't mention them, but people will go backwards and forwards to them. They'll try certain things and they'll say, oh, I'm going back to such and such. And I'll say, okay, well, what happens when you first done that? How did that work out for you? Yeah, it was great. I lost a lot of weight. Cool. Why are you going back? Why are you going back? Why are you revisiting all the time? Simply because, the process worked for a certain period of time, but something changed with you. And I don't know what that was, but either life got in the way, you stopped the habits, you created new habits, the neural pathways in your brain decided that was the right way to go. And then before you know it, you're back into that vicious circle again. You're on that merry-go-round instead of on the roller coaster. And, I'll go for the roller coaster any day of the week. So,
absolutely.
100%. Cathy Savage, again, you have been incredible.
Oh, you're amazing.
Well, it's open.
I learn from you every week. You're amazing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Listen, I'm so looking forward to our next coffee with Cathy, and you and I will more likely catch up in a week anyway. But I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your effort on here today. So from everyone that's obviously watching or listening on the podcast, thank you so much. You take care. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Ciao.